We all wanted to go and get married, have kids. We liked music too. We loved it. However, we wanted everything. That would have pushed it to the fire of like, oh, so now you're going out with what? You know, he experienced it a little with Vanity because people from all over the world were contacting her.
This is a talented young actress named Vanity who was discovered by Prince, and for a while she opened his stage shows with a group called Vanity 6.
We're not upset about each other. It's not ugly, but we don't really see each other or talk about anything.
Just when Prince was going to make Purple Rain, Vanity split, and Apollonia got the lead in that movie.
Well, the relationship, we don't talk, but it's nice that people ask about it.
Now Vanity has a movie of her own. It's called The Last Dragon. She plays a video disc jockey who needs some protection.
It's a martial arts film and a love story intertwined.
And a young actor named Timac plays the karate expert that she wants to hire.
Timac, who's my co-lead.
I mean, I seem to be attracting the craziest people. So I thought that maybe it would be a great idea if I got myself a bodyguard.
Plays the martial artist. He saves my life continuously. I, in turn, fall in love with him.
Berry Gordy would have me sit down and watch some of the tapes. See beautiful girls, some soap opera actresses. She had a great spirit about her, you know. She was an alpha female, commanded attention. She was tough. I saw that, especially back then, Hollywood sharks were going to be around her all the time. I was, you know, it was like come right off the street and really trying to learn. You know, I didn't know if I could trust Berry Gordy or any of these people, you know. But at the time, I thought I could trust him, and it didn't work out too well for me.
The Last Dragon has inspired a lot of publicity about Vanity, who has an 8-page spread in the current Playboy. Vanity's good in this movie. She's a lot of fun.
I am a video DJ. She's a very ambitious, crazy, wild person.
Hey, check out the stars. Sheila E. Run DMC.
Surprised to see yourself in a film?
Yeah, it's not embarrassing. It's just, it's funny to see myself actually on TV and on film.
What was it like? This is your first movie, although you've done some videos. Was it different than you anticipated?
Yeah, it's different than doing video, definitely. Video is easier for me because I'm doing my music, I'm playing me, and doing a movie without having my drums is like taking a bottle away from a baby, and it felt kind of strange.
Now, for those of people who have not seen your videos and you say you're playing yourself, what is yourself?
Crazy, sexy at times.
Now, when people talk about Sheila E., they call you sexy, but they also call you Prince's protege. Does that bother you?
No.
Has it been an asset?
Yeah.
In what way?
Everybody really enjoys Prince's music. To be associated with Prince, it's helped a lot, a great deal.
Sheila was totally dedicated to Prince.
Ever like to direct your own movie?
Yes! But there's a little bit of scuttlebutt about the movie that he kind of took charge of this movie, took over the direction. The Prince was somewhat difficult to work with, following on this enormous success he had with Purple Rain.
I don't think he was difficult to work with. Everybody loved working with him. We just had a really good time making this movie. It shows.
It's in black and white.
It's a French film, and it's a black and white French film. She's in it. You could explain the film better. You explain the film. To that camera. That's a pretty one.
C'est un très beau film noir et blanc et avec plein de personnages fantastiques. L'histoire d'un pianiste qui s'appelle Christopher et d'une jeune fille très très riche qui s'appelle Mary Sharon. Et puis ils tombent amoureux l'un de l'autre. Et puis là-dedans, moi je suis une fille complètement folle avec des couettes, des mini-jupes et je suis la concierge. Voilà, c'est tout.
But being involved in it, the movie was shot in color.
Dressed in gold. You must be talking about me, Cutting.
I've seen it in color.
Smile, Katie, you're naked.
I'll smile when you pay me the 2 months rent you owe me.
Do you like that idea?
I love it.
What was the idea behind making it in black and white?
Making a real film, a film with a big F. Well, it's sort of fun to do it in black and white.
Is Prince a good director?
I can't compare him to anybody because it was my first director, but I love working with him.
Where's the hose at?
What? Wait.
Where's the hose at?
Her name's Emmanuel. Rome, come here, man. This is Jerome Benton. This is our landlord. We live together.
I got to see dailies. He just started calling me Tricky long before the movie. Every now and then I would hear Tricky. It ended up in the script. We bantered like friends. I said, your mama. He said, your mama. He said, well, at least I got one. I said, your mama's my mama. He said, no, butterscotch, chocolate. doesn't work.
He was culturally taken by, he went to Versailles, he went to see Mozart's house. I mean, he was taken by it, Europe, and the movie reflected it.
When we were putting together Under the Cherry Moon,
there was no here, let's get a Cherry Moon script done.
It was basically us traveling, experiencing things.
He's writing it all out.
We're just having fun.
As it goes. The DP
Michael Bauhaus
for Cherry Moon was the same DP for Raging Bull.
Amazing man.
That was me saying, if you're going to do this film, you better have a good DP.
The old De Niro movies.
That was me. It's got to look good, and you want it black and white, you got to watch Raging Bull again. You got to watch Raging Bull. You go back and watch Raging Bull, look at the DP work on that, you look at the black and white filming. It's Cherry Moon.
We were over in France for just endless periods of time, just recording when he had a moment, rehearsing when he had a moment. Being in France gave him became a second home, London, Paris, it was really an exciting time.
Well, the most fun was probably America.
Et maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, Prince and the Revolution.
Because we were in the south of France.
Yeah, we were doing Cherry Moon. The film Cherry Moon was being filmed, and we were working on songs for that.
Yeah, and so there was always a mobile truck around.
That's when we all came over to Nice. He decided to do this video of America.
Eric and I both was in that video.
We were in the rehearsals the night before.
Yeah, we shot it over in Nice, France.
He wanted to use me and Eddie M.
I had never met Eric, but I heard stuff in the studio that he was doing with Eric.
The rest of the band flew out to do America.
He was over there doing Under the Cherry Moon. It's like, I want to do a lot of videos, so he filled up a tent or whatever.
And yeah, we were just in a tent.
Côte d'Azur.
Côte d'Azur, right there on the Mediterranean, 127 degrees. And it was hot in that
full
tent.
audience.
There was going to be solo spots and some of the little horn riffs that he came up for us to do, and then said, okay, here's where it's going to be. Erica's going to solo here, Eddie's going to solo here.
I was pretty much the second horn player on the scene.
But in the middle of it, I told Prince, I've got an idea for a more extended horn line that might work. So he said, okay, what is it? And I played it for him, and he said, yeah, that's cool. So teach it to Eddie.
He had already started recording Eric for the family.
And that's kind of the crazy horn line. That's played over and over again in between the solos. It's just a crazy-ass horn line.
After that filming and everything, Prince and Wendy both were taken off stage with oxygen and stuff because it was so hot. It got so hot, and we played way too long.
But that's
the recording.
The recording.
Yeah. So that was quite
the most fun.
Quite a fun and
that was fun
adventure.
That was really fun.
Had a whole bunch of folks in, and we shot that video. I think we did it 2 or 3 times, and that was it.
Maserati. They were fending for themselves. I was their leader. Terry Casey, the lead singer, was forced to take that position of leader. He just didn't know enough about how to do that.
Why am I stuck here? Every time I try to get a ticket home, Prince wants you to stay here, wants you to do some press next week. And they canceled. We're going to do it next Friday. It felt like a sabotage to me.
So now, obviously, he's bringing in instruments that for the first 5-6 years of his music he had never used before. So by definition, that certainly was going to be something very different for the Prince fans. It's like, so what the hell are these guys playing? The family, as far as what the group was Paul Peterson, Susanna Melvoin, myself, Jelly Bean Johnson, and Jerome Benton. Now, we had to put together a band at the time, bass player, guitar players, keyboard players, and that's what Miko came into the family. He was going to be the guitar player. Susanna and Wendy's brother, Jonathan, he was one of the keyboard players in the band with the family. We were rehearsing the family. We did one gig at First Avenue, and then shortly after that, Paul decided to leave the group and pursue other things. My initial reaction was, this is a drag because this was a really cool album. We were looking forward to the possibility of going out on tour. And there was going to be a tour, fall of '85. Sheila is the headliner. For the family and the group Maserati. Mark had produced.
France. I was there forever. I ended up just staying in Nice, France, doing nothing.
I show up at the end of Under the Cherry Moon holding my jacket over my shoulder.
Prince is in Nice. We were getting ready to do Under the Cherry Moon.
They couldn't come to terms in their negotiations.
When we found out we were in Europe, Paul, I didn't hear from you directly. I just heard that you got yourself a record deal. You didn't care enough about this project and you needed to take care of yourself only.
Jerome was already, in Nice because, he was the co-star with Prince, so that relationship was, Jerome's relationship with Prince was certainly going to be there. Okay, we didn't see this coming. Okay, well, that's the end of this project. So whatever this was going to be, it's not going to be.
Paul had left. Everything was basically done. The week after that, I flew back to Nice to be a part of the video that we were going to do for a song Girls and Boys.
Really never had a discussion with Susanna or Jelly Bean after that. Since I had already been doing these things with Prince, Alan immediately told me I wouldn't be too concerned because I have a feeling that Prince is going to immediately just put you in his band. Pretty much what happened.
And the day that I got in, I was at the movie studios in the commissary, sitting at a booth with Prince and Suze. I asked Prince, have you considered just replacing Paul? And he said no.
He calls me from Europe and he asked me, he said, Jellybean, hey, Prince, what's up? I want you to join the revolution. I said, okay, that's cool. I said, but what are we going to do about the family? He hung up. About a week later, my check was cut in half.
Because I knew what was coming. It was not going to be a lot of fun. And it was not a lot of fun.
Paul did what he had to do.
My family, they were like, are you sure you want to open this can of worms? And I was like, I think I do.
And that's when the fight broke out. I recall talking with Eric and Jellybean and Susanna.
And Paul was like, Bean, I'm sorry, I hate to do this to you. I'm going to take the deal. And that's what he did.
He wanted to have a shorter term contract. Prince wanted Paul to be signed for much longer.
How would I be in this band as his wife?
You wouldn't have been.
We were going to have a life together.
The project was not going to last. First of all, the nature of these projects have a built-in shelf life.
My representation chose to leave in a way that wasn't as respectful as I'd like it to have been. It was basically, bye, see you later. I got no contract and goodbye.
Prince Screams of Passion's on radio. It's like number 9. The family's falling apart.
My band was being dissected piece by piece.
I ended up leaving the band, and I ended up not even signing with A&M. I signed with MCA.
Alan had already said the plan right now is that he's going to expand the revolution.
And the family broke up. Our lead singer of the group, Paul Peterson, he walked away even though the debut album had been released.
Lisa and I were given a lot of tracks. He was very busy doing a million things again. Obviously, Purple Rain was the pinnacle of his pop star, and these are masterpiece pop songs. But afterward, the roots started going in all these different areas, and he was trying to cherry pick different elements of himself to explore from. And we were getting tapes of general ideas and go and finish this, go finish that, go do this.
Around Thanksgiving time, Prince sent Wendy, Lisa, and me to London for a week. We go into Advision Studios and just write some stuff, record some stuff, and bring it back to the south of France so he could get on with the movie. Wendy came up with the riff for the song Mountains. He wrote lyrics to it, came up with a melody.
We did a lot of work on that record. I think Parade, as far as experimentation.
I like to try to let musicians that are in my group influence me.
He was starting to become a superstar. Kind of like, I kind of want to do this myself again. I was kind of getting the sense he was kind of growing a little tired of it. Mm-hmm. And we're a handful. We weren't just sidemen. We were the revolution.
There was a lot of internal stuff going on.
He could cut to your heart and talk about your faults and your mama. All you had to do was be at one rehearsal and see how he talked to the band.
My sister, the most important person in the world to me, and he knew that. He liked to keep me hidden, and I was an identical twin. That got complicated for him. It was not easy for him. I did my best to juggle my relationship with him. Other people wanted to sign us to labels and have us do our own record. Me and Lisa were highly sought after at the time. That didn't make him very happy.
His relationship with Susanna was strained, and that created sides. We were on Susanna's side now, or whose side are you on?
Wendy and Lisa kind of had enough in Minneapolis at one point, so
Wendy and Lisa and he had a disagreement which precipitated them wanting to leave.
And we didn't want to go.
It's very difficult to say no to somebody that you love making music with, and then you turn around and say, no, I can't afford to give you a raise.
I had to go to the airport to convince them. So, I knew we all knew something was going on.
But right before a tour, people were going to be put out of work.
With Prince, it's like he knew he had to go to Japan, and we knew he had to do this, but
people were going to lose money. So Prince said, no, I don't want you to quit. Don't quit.
By rescuing mission to bring them back, it's always an odd kind of feeling. We played the music.
They had smoothed things over, and I thought for sure they were still going to be in the group.
He may have harbored that a little bit, and I think he
They didn't like anybody to leave him.
He was bringing in more people, like a party atmosphere on stage, very classy looking.
And he says, get a trumpet player so we can do parts. Here comes Eric.
Horn sections with suits on.
Okay, he's really outgrowing this unit.
Something else I picked up from James Brown was that when you bring new people into the band, it reinvigorates you, and now it becomes the Counterrevolution.
When Eric and I joined, we called ourselves the Counterrevolution. We couldn't say we were the Revolution because the Revolution is a quintessential band.
That left all these people in the family without a job. He started to incorporate some of those people into the Revolution.
At that point, I thought they were cool.
All of us in the Revolution were a little miffed, like a foreign object coming in, invading your body,
There is a revolution, and now you got to deal with all of us.
So when more and more people started coming on stage, like, what's going on here? To be totally honest, we did feel territorial and possessive of the band.
This doesn't feel right. Oh, I don't know about this.
And the fans love it. Didn't matter what anybody else thought.
We were all talking about it. Some people questioned it.
How could the boss be wrong?
It felt a little funny at first because you're going, oh, wow, there's new people here. Oh, why? Oh.
His decision was final.
Again, the boss brought us in. It was the boss's journey.
Anytime you worked with Prince, it wasn't about your opinion. His decisions would stick whether you liked it or not.
He wouldn't complain and he wouldn't explain.
You feel you've gone as far as you can with the people around you. The only way to keep from being derivative is to freshen up the people around you. James did that all the time. He may not change his whole band.
Like James Brown. That's what James Brown used to do. James Brown had 2 or 3 bands all the time.
Particularly with drummers. He went through drummers like crazy, and every one of them had a very identifiably different style. Jabbo. Clyde.
So to be able to bring my band, his band, and put that together and that energy, we just had so much fun. We just played constantly. It was rehearsal and then going into the tour.
He started feeling like, now I need new friends. My whole friend thing is not making me happy right now.
Sheila, the Oakland people, and they were funky as hell.
The different caliber of musicians that we had, we could play anything,
And they were. It was Sheila's band. It was like Tony, and like all these great musicians. And it's like, go for it. What am I supposed to say? And these friends are funky too. And look how great they are. And, I need new friends.
There are 5 of them, and also looking up one day, and they're now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 more. It was an adjustment for them.
As soon as you bring in horns in, then that creates a whole new thing he could play with that he didn't have before. He could be James Brown's, younger brother.
Prince was a great leader. He was willing to not be loved. He said, the only asshole around here is me. And he meant it.
Well, on the phone here, I have the winner of the Prince contest. She is the 10,000th phone caller tonight. Her name is Lisa Barber, and she is from Sheridan, Wyoming. Hello, Lisa.
Hi.
So what was it like to be the 10,000th caller?
Scary but exciting. Well, first there was the soft music, and then somebody got on and said, congratulations, you're the 10,000 caller.
Here's some news that may surprise you. Rock star Prince is coming to Sheridan. Prince, famous for his movie Purple Rain, will be in Sheridan to escort Lisa Barber to a premiere showing of his latest movie.
This is going out to you, Lisa. This is Prince.
Tuesday afternoon, against a backdrop of Purple Mountain's majesty, Prince touched down for a royal reception.
Now, Prince, what are your first impressions of Sheridan, Wyoming?
Purple.